So we're doing the back side of this worksheet now. And if you look in each of the boxes for every problem, so for all four, there are 4 pieces of information. It's GNAW. So that's why we called it GNAW. Okay? GNAW. Not the slang word. GNAW. GNAW. That's what we're doing. Okay? GNAW is an abbreviation. It's an acronym for graphical. There are different representations on your notes. G for graphical, N for numeric, A for algebraic, and W for words, okay? So you need to be able to be given any one of these pieces of information and find the other 3. So I'm going to do, yes, that's what you're doing, Diego. Yes, you are gnawing on the functions. There are multiple representations, okay? So numbers 1 and 2, I'm doing with you. 3 and 4, you will be doing, okay? So on number 1, what piece of information am I given? Yeah, I'm given the stretch, all that information. I'm given the words. Okay, look at your paper on number 2. What information are we given on that one? The table. Okay, so on number 1, which I'm doing with you, we're starting with words. I'll wait. On number 2, I gave you the table, so we're starting with numeric. Okay, so we're given different pieces of information. We need to find the other 3 that are missing. Okay. So we are given words. We have an absolute value function has been stretched by 2, reflected over the x-axis, and shifted left 4 units. So what do I start with? What do I know to begin with? How am I going to begin this question? Okay, good. I heard somebody very quietly. Absolute value, yes. So that's an important piece of information. What else do I know? Stretched by 2. Any other things that I know? Okay, reflect over the x-axis and left 4 units. So I can use this information to find A, H, and K to write my equation. And I'm going to write that up here in the numeric box. Actually, no. I'm going to write it right here. Above algebraic. I need to find A, H, and K. And I know this is an absolute value. So the first information I have is stretched by 2. Where does that go? Is that A, H, or K? Stretched by 2. A, H, or K? 2 of you know. What about the 33 rest of you? Okay, yes. Stretched by 2 is A. Then I have reflected over the x-axis. What does that look like? A negative. Where does that go? A. Yes, so I'll have a negative 2. And finally, I have left 4 units. That's going to be H. And if it's left, what sign is that? Negative. I heard a plus 4 in our equation. It changes to plus. H is negative 4. Do I have any information about K? No. So what number is K? 0. Good. Do I have enough information to write my equation for algebraic? Yeah, I do. So let's start. I have f of x equals what? Negative 2. Then what? Okay, absolute value sign. X plus 4. And then that's it. Okay, so we answered the first part of this question. What can we do next? Yeah, the table and the graph. We're going to kind of do that simultaneously, okay? So, before we fill in the numeric, the table, off to the side, we're going to use our little table, because in that table, I want the exact final points. So, for an absolute value graph, what were the numbers we wrote on the table? What's my first coordinate pair? Negative 1, 1. Okay, what else? 0, 0, and 1, 1. Okay, where did Sarah and I think Danielle come up with those numbers from? Or was it Jessica? I couldn't see you. Your head was down. I'm sorry. Sarah and Jessica, where did they come up with those numbers from our table? Did they just know that out of their heads? No, where did we write it? And we've been using it for a week. On your toolkit. Get out your toolkit. These are all on your toolkit. Okay? These are the 3 points. I erased them off the board. They're not there like they were yesterday. These 3 points come from the absolute value box on your toolkit. Okay? Now, what do I do next every time I'm graphing?
Multiply by
Yeah. Multiply my y value by a. So what am I going to multiply by?
-2.
So I get -2, 0, and -2. And what do I do with those points? Plot them. Good. I'm going to graph those 3 points. Is that my final graph? Am I going to draw a line through them and be done with it? No. What else do I have to do? I have to move each of those points left 4. Will those red points be my final points? Yes, I'm going to draw a line through them. Any questions so far? Is this okay? Is this okay? What else do I have left to do? I graphed them. What else do I have to do, though? I haven't filled out this table yet, okay? So the 3 points I have are going to be our 3 middle points. Remember how I said we work with 5, but you really only need 3 of them? So these points are going to be what? What can I write? What's my middle point? What's the very, very, very middle point? Is it still 0, 0 when we move the equation? It's 0, -4? Because this is 0, -4 right there. I went -4 to the left 4, up 0. That's this point right here. That point is -4, 0. Is that okay so far? Okay, what's another point that I can fill in? Okay, -5, -2, and what else do I have? -3, -2. Okay, I do need the other 2 points. Yes, I do. So what is going to get filled in there? How are you going to figure it out? They are not undefined because the line goes all the way through. Is there any kind of pattern happening with my x values?
Yes, there is. It's going down.
It's okay.
So
-6 will be one of the points. And what about the other point? -2. Okay, here, let me change those colors so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, for these ones I have -6 and -2. What are their corresponding y values? -6 is down here and right here. So yeah, these are going to be -4. Did I answer all parts of the question? Okay, then I guess we're done. If you didn't know how to find those -4 from the graph, because maybe you graphed it weird, you can always plug it into the equation too. So my equation of -2 times the absolute value of -2 plus 4 is, what is -2 plus 4? What's -2 plus 4? 2. What's the absolute value of 2? 2. So I graphed these 2 points. And if I did it with -6, what is the absolute value of -2? What is the absolute value of -2? That is just 2. Which is the other point that I had, okay? We're going to do number 2 together now. We're going to do number 2. So, and here's a recap. On number 2, what information am I given this time? I'm given the numeric part, which is my table. Okay. So, what do you think I should do to start? Yeah, I can graph those points. That's probably the first thing I should do. How do I graph -2, undefined? I don't graph it. There's no y value. I can't graph it. Okay, how do I graph the next point? -1, -3. Nice try, Galilee. Valiant effort. Okay, what else do I have to graph? 0, -2. What else do I have to graph? 3, -1. And finally, 8, 0, which is approximately here. What kind of graph is that? A square root. So I already have more information. Okay. That doesn't really help me, though, as far as identifying what AH and K are. But it does help me figure out some more information. So I know I at least have a square root function. Now the problem is identifying A, H, and K. So normally, do you have a question for me? What's your question? Where is it? You said it's 0, 0. Where else? Normally. 1, 1, and where? Okay, so let's try graphing these 3 points. And I always like coming back to the original because it's a good starting point, and then I can transform it myself. So I just graphed in red the original. This is my parent. Nothing's happened to it. It's just a plain old square root. Can I tell any kind of transformation that's happened? Yeah, what do we think has happened? Is it stretched? What's a really easy, obvious transformation we can see from the beginning? So some of you are saying down and left. It definitely looks like it's moved down and left. It's figuring out how much. So let me try moving left 1. Did that get me any closer? Yeah, it did. Okay, so I know that I go down 1. So is that A? Or sorry, I know I go left 1. So is that A, H, or K? If I go left 1, is that A, H, or K? H is -1 because I just went left 1. How else can I move? Down. Okay, I went down 1 unit. Was that enough? No. If I go down 2 units, is that enough? No. So what did you guys tell me it was? Okay, down 3 units. Does that pretty much match? Yeah, my drawing's not perfect, like I said. But yeah, it looks like I went down 3. So is that A or is that K now? K is -3. And what about A? Did I stretch, reflect, or compress? No. So what is A? That's going to be a 1. Okay. If A is not there, remember it's 1. If H or K is not there, that is 0. So now I have f of x equals, I can write my equation. F of x equals what? Square root of, I heard it, x plus 1, okay, minus 3, like that. And in words, how are you going to describe this using the last couple of questions to model it, or the last one? How do I start this, my description? A square root function. What? Then what? A square root function has been shifted left. How much? Okay, left 1 unit and down 3 units. Okay, and that's all we need for number 2.